Howdy guys, welcome to Boco's Diesel Garage. Today I'm going to be working on this 1982 Mercedes 240D. I bought it sight unseen at an estate auction. I really don't know very much about it. The tabs expired in 2019, so it's been sitting for at least 3 years, could be more. And they lost the key to it, so I had to go to the dealer, get a new key made. You can do that as long as you bring the title. They can look it up by the VIN number. If you bring in the title and your ID, then they can cut a new key for you. So that's kind of a handy tip right there. If you ever need to do this to a car like this, you can go to the dealer and get a new key made, or if you lose your own, whatever, they can still do it. It was $40. So I have a key now. Obviously I bought it as a non-runner since they didn't have a key for it, but I am hoping that now that I have the key, I can get this car started. I really don't know any history or anything on it. Came from an estate auction, so that probably means the owner that used to have this car passed away. So yeah, we'll have to go take a closer look at it and see if we can get it started. All right, so here it is. I brought a battery with me. It did not come with a battery, otherwise the car looks mostly complete. We'll do a quick walk around on it. The paint is a very unique color. It's kind of a greenish color on here. Unfortunately, it does have a lot of rust. You can see down here by the fenders, I think there's some rust holes in the floorboards too. Probably overpaid for it a little too much, but I guess that's what happens when you buy something from an online auction without going out there to inspect it in person. It was just too far from me to drive all the way out there. It would have took me a whole day just to drive out there to go look at it. So I took the risk, bought it sight unseen, and I got a brand new key from the Mercedes dealer. So I'm gonna put this camera down here for a little bit. I'll install the battery there. I already checked, made sure we have coolant and there's enough oil in there. So I'm gonna hook up the battery. We'll get the new key out and see if we can get this thing started. It's 37 degrees out. It's about 1 o'clock right now as I'm making this video. It finally warmed up a little bit, but still pretty cold. So it is gonna be a kind of a cold start video as well if we can get this thing going here. All right, got a brand new key right here from the dealer, still in the bag, and hooked up the battery here. I did notice that the glow plugs were disconnected for some reason. This is the relay that goes over to the glow plugs, and here is the wire that normally hooks up there. I have no idea why that is disconnected, but we're gonna hook that up because it'd be very hard to start if the glow plugs aren't working on a cold day like this. For some reason they took the door pocket off here, the door panel, but it is included in the car. It's in the back here. You can see it laying up there, and there's one in the back that's missing too, looks like. But anyway, this is what the interior looks like. Not in the best condition, but not the worst I've seen either. It looks like only 237,000 miles, which is not much for one of these. So we're gonna try and start it right here. Let's see, I don't see a glow plug light coming on. So I'll give it a try here. Oh, it's starting over. Well, it turns over at least. That is odd that the glow plug light isn't coming on when I cycle the key like it should normally. Give this another try here. I'm gonna push the throttle down a little bit as well. It's turning over pretty fast. I mean, I charged this battery up before I put it on. No luck so far though. I did notice there are some glow plugs laying right here in the center console, so they might have been They might need to be replaced or something, I don't know. I'm gonna take another look at it and then we'll start filming again if I can find out anything. So I probably should have done this before I even tried to start it, but I just wiped clean the fuel pre-filter right here. This is the pre-filter. You usually can see through it to be able to check if there's fuel in it or not. Obviously if there's no fuel in it, it's not going to start. And then this one right here, that's the main fuel filter. But it looks like it has fuel in it. This is an old style hand primer pump still. You can turn this a little to the left and then you should be able to unscrew it a little and then it should come up. Yep, here we go. And we can actually pump this just to make sure it is getting fuel and to get rid of any air in the system. That sound that you're hearing right there, that usually means that it's primed when you start to hear that kind of squeaky noise. If you're not hearing that, you might have to try a little longer till you start hearing that noise. But that right there to me would indicate that it is getting fuel. Then when I'm looking at these fuel return lines, they are very old. But I don't see any obvious leaks, it's just really dirty. Yeah, I'm gonna give it another try here. If I still can't get it started, I'm gonna have to probably get my multi-tool out and do some testing to see if there's actually power going to the glow plugs or not. Alright, start attempt number 2. Still no glow plug light coming on. Just the standard seatbelt buzzer. Man, it's not helping that it's so cold today. I think it might have started even with bad glow plugs if it wasn't so cold. But I'm thinking there's something wrong with the glow plug relay, or with the glow plugs themselves. I don't really know. That is probably why there are some laying here, and why that wire was disconnected. That might very well be why they parked this car and stopped driving it. So I'm gonna get my multimeter out and see if we get any power going through it when I turn the key on, and we'll go from there. Alright, I got my multimeter out. Got this side just hooked up to this chassis for ground. And then I got my positive test lead right here. So this is the glow plug relay, this whole box right here. This big wire right here should be power coming directly from the battery. And we have 12.3 volts right there, so we're getting power there. Sometimes this is kind of like a fuse. It's a really big metal one. If that's not, basically it gets power from here, it goes through the fuse, and then it gets power through there. That's how it works. So I'm gonna check this just to make sure, but I still have power right there. So that's not the cause. That'd be easy if it was this one that was broken. I'm pretty sure this smaller wires underneath here, I'll take them off. I'm pretty sure these go to the ignition, and they basically tell this module when to allow power to go into the glow plug wires, which are the ones that are underneath here. These were the ones that were disconnected for some reason. So now next what I'm going to test, you can see there's 4 right here. So this is a 4-cylinder, there's 4 glow plugs in there. So there's 1 wire for each glow plug. This has the newer system on it. There are, back in the day on the older ones, this is an 82, I think prior to 1980 or so, they had the old style glow plug system, and it was basically just 1 wire going through the engine, and if 1 glow plug would go bad, they would all go bad. But that's not the case on these newer ones. So they all have their own power supply from this control module here. So any one of these I should be able to get power on it once I turn the ignition. So I got it right now. I'm not getting anything, so I'm going to go inside and turn the ignition and see if I get any power to it or not. It's only gonna apply power to it for a few seconds, but I'm not getting anything. I'm touching all 4 different ones here. I'm not getting any power, so I think that's our problem right there. I'm gonna try it one more time. Was this one hooked up to the other side? I'll cycle this one some more here. So off, cycle back on. Yeah, no glow plug light either on the dash, so there's got to be something. Yeah, this one's hooked up. Nothing there. Nothing. Still nothing over here. So I think that's our problem right here. It's this something wrong with this module. The obvious fix would be to replace this if it was broken, but that's not the case. So I think in order to get this car started, at least when it's this cold out, I'm gonna have to replace this glow plug control module box right there. And I might be able to borrow one off another car here. All right, I have another one here that I was keeping in the shop as a spare. It actually, you can see the date stamp on here, came off an 82 as well, so it's going to be exactly identical to this one on here. I'm going to swap these out. This right here, that number that starts with 002, that's the part number, in case anyone needs it to do this themselves if they have a similar problem. One other thing you want to check before you do this is to check the fuse box right here, and you can see there's this fuse right down there. I'm gonna see if I can try and fish it out. I think it's supposed to go in there, and it's just laying down there. There's also something that they tapped into. I don't know, I'm guessing that's for an aftermarket radio or something. But I did check these. They're a little dirty, but they all seem to be okay. None of them are blown, so unless it's that one that popped out, that is probably not my problem. But I'm going to put that one back in there, and I'm going to test it once more. I'm not going to film it, I'm just going to test it real quick, see if that does the trick, and if not, I got this replacement module right here, and I'll just put that in. Well, I tried to put that fuse back in there, and they're kind of hard to get in because you got to pull this back. And well, anyway, what happened is I was trying to pull this back, put it back in, and it jumped out, flew all the way over there, went down somewhere in the grass, and I can't find it anymore. But I discovered something really interesting, because I got the this right here. That's normally, there's a cover on here, and this is on the inside of it. The cover seems to be missing, but I found this in the glove compartment, and that fuse that is missing is this one right here, number B, window left, front left, and rear right. And guess with door panels they took off, it's the front left and the rear right. So I'm pretty sure that is why those windows aren't working. That's simply because that fuse right there fell out. The top one is A, that one's B, and then you can, it's kind of hard to see, but they all have numbers on there. See if I can zoom in. Yeah, you can kind of see the numbers on it. So I just discovered that, and I've been looking through here. I don't see glow plug relay listed anywhere on there, but at least I know it is not that one fuse that is missing. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this old one off and replace it with that one right there. Well, I made another interesting discovery. You can see this is the one I took out, and it looks kind of different from that one. The part number and everything is different on it. The date stamp on the back looks like it says 7/12 of 89. So this is definitely not original to this car. It should look like this one, and I have an 82 date stamp on it. This one came out of another 240D that I have. So that is kind of interesting. Maybe that's why it's not working right. But I don't know. Looks like someone has been messing around with this before. Anyway, to take it off, super easy. Both sides there, those are 8mm, and then to get this big wire off the top, it's held on with 10mm nut. Just make sure you disconnect the battery before you do this, because this wire always has power going to it directly from the battery. So I got that one out. We're gonna put this one in here, and then we're gonna give it a try. All right, I got the replacement glow plug relay module put in here. This is all hooked up the way it should be. So I'm gonna hook the battery back up here real quick, and we're gonna give this another try and see if we can actually get it started this time. Oh, look at that! The glow plug light is actually coming on now. And it's still on, so I'm gonna wait to start it until that goes off. It is on for quite a while, probably because it's so cold out right now. Might have warmed up a couple more degrees, but it's still in the high 30s maybe. I don't think it's over 40 yet. I was wearing gloves during most of this repair. Oh, it's staying on really long. Usually it doesn't stay on that long. Well, we'll see what happens here. That's kind of odd. I might just try and see if it'll start right now. Oh, it's sounding better. It's definitely sounding more like it wants to start. I'm going to cycle this over once more and see if that glow plug is staying on that long. No, it's not on at all right now. Huh, that is odd. Kind of a weird starter sound there. Try this once more here. Oh, that's weird. No more glow plug light coming on right now. It's wanting to start though. Look at that. Oh, we got a lot of smoke here. Pressure right here. Sounds a little rough. I mean, it's been quite a few years probably since this car has ran, but it's running. I got my foot on the throttle just a little bit. Let it idle a little bit higher. We'll wait here for it to smooth out a little bit, but we got it running. Throttle here, that's smoothing out a little now. Almost sounds like the exhaust isn't hooked up right or something. It sounds pretty loud. Got the good oil pressure here. Let's see if I can let my foot off the throttle. It will stay running. Maybe not. Better hold it on there just a little longer here. It's running okay right now. Pretty cool, we got it running again. Well guys, see it's running. It looks like this, see that quiets it down a lot. That air cleaner box isn't completely attached. It's missing a nut on the top here too, looks like. Shaking a little bit. Hopefully it will smooth out a little. I think there's an exhaust leak on it because I can see some smoke coming up through the back there. But it's running right now. That sounds horrible if you don't hold this down. Well, it's running. I'm gonna have to clean that up, fix that air filter housing there. That looks pretty rough, but it's running. still smoking a little bit. And here you can see the date on the license plate. Looks like it was last registered in 2019, probably last time it ran. Yeah, we got it running, that's pretty good. I'm gonna shut her off. I don't want any gunk to get sucked up through that air filter there since it's not sealing properly. So I'm gonna shut her off here. But it runs, that's pretty cool. Oh, and it looks like we have some vacuum leaks because it's not shutting off with the key. So if that happens, there's a shut off right here. You just push that in right here. It's supposed to say stop on there, but that's so dirty. It's worn off, you can't tell anymore. But yeah, if they have a vacuum leak, the fuel shut off on these is vacuum operated. It is right down below here. Oh, here's something else weird going on. That's part of the glow plug. See here, for some reason they cut this and tried to put it together like that. Maybe that's one of the reasons we're having some issues here with the glow plugs. But yeah, that's probably gonna wrap it up for this video. I'm gonna have to do quite a bit of work on this car, I think, to turn it into a reliable driver again. I don't really know if it's worth it, just because it has so much rust on it, but at least it runs. I'm happy about that. I probably do a few more videos on it, clean it up a little, see if I can fix that air cleaner housing and do a little maintenance on it. Maybe I'll try and sell this again for someone that either wants to fix it all the way up, or someone that's maybe just looking for an engine or transmission to put in their car to keep it on the road. Unfortunately, it does have a lot of rust on the floor pan and in the trunk too. You can look here. It's the problem with cars from the Midwest, they get so rusted. But at least we got it running. Happy about that. And yeah, I'll probably do a couple more videos on it, get it fixed up a little bit more, hopefully. Figure out that glow plug issue for sure, make sure that is fixed properly, and fix that air cleaner housing and whatever else might come up. See if we can actually drive it. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And yeah, hopefully this was helpful to some people if you might have similar issues or you're trying to resurrect an old car like this.